Sung felt the call of God on his life. As such, in 1926, he enrolled himself into Union Theological Seminary in New York City. Now, during one prayer meeting, during prayer one day, John Sung was suddenly baptized in the Holy Spirit. He said this, he said, the Holy Spirit poured onto me just like water on top of my head. Then the Holy Spirit continuously poured onto me wave after wave. After the experience, John was so radically transformed, set on fire, that he started preaching to his peers and his lecturers in the seminary. Now his change was so drastic that his fellow classmates thought that he had gone mad. So they reported him to the authorities in the seminary. They arrested him and confined him in a mental asylum for 193 days. Because they thought he went crazy. But during that 193 days while in the mental asylum, he read through the entire Bible 40 times. Upon release from the asylum, John returned to China without graduating from the seminary. While on the ship, John told the Lord, the old John Sung is dead. He doesn't want to rely on his accomplishment, his achievements, his academic abilities anymore. So like Apostle Paul, he prayed. He said, what things were gained to me, those I counted loss for Christ. So from now on, I will live fully for the Lord, surrendered, dominated, directed by the Holy Spirit. In November 1927, just before he reached China on the ship, he threw all his academic awards and diplomas into the sea. His dad and family were hoping that he would find a good job and help alleviate the family poverty. But when they learned about John's decision, the whole family wept in bitter disappointment. Church, I want to ask you a question. Are you willing to fully surrender under the domination, influence, direction of the Holy Spirit? John Sung went on to become one of the greatest evangelists of the East. He was remembered as the John Wesley of China. In 10 years, John Sung preached the gospel and converted 100,000 people to Jesus Christ. Oh, won't you give the Lord a hand clap? In fact, he brought revival to China, Thailand, Malaysia, and even in Singapore. Many of our churches in Singapore were started because of his ministry. Because if you live in the Spirit, church, we must walk in the Spirit. Shall we all say together, walk in the Spirit? Walk in the Spirit. And do not be drunk with wine, Paul says, but be filled with the Spirit. We cannot live without the Holy Spirit. See, another thing about Ephesians chapter 5, verse 18. It literally means be filled. It literally means keep on being filled with the Holy Spirit. Now in the Gospel, Jesus also taught about this continuous filling of the Holy Spirit. So let's look at John chapter 4. John chapter 4, look at verse 13. Jesus answered and said to her, whoever drinks of this water will thirst again. But whoever drinks of the water that I shall give him will never thirst. But the water that I shall give him will become in him a fountain of water, springing up into everlasting life. You know what? The water that Jesus is talking about is the Holy Spirit. Now, why is it that when we drink of this water, we will never thirst? Because when you drink of this water in you becomes a fountain that keeps on flowing. If you can take in this water becomes a fountain within you that keeps flowing, springing up into everlasting life. He repeats this again in John chapter 7. Look at John 7:37. He said, Jesus stood and cried out, saying, if anyone is thirsty, let him come to me and drink. He who believes in me, as the scriptures say, from his innermost being. Everybody say innermost being.
Innermost being.
So from his innermost being will flow rivers of living water. But this he spoke of the Spirit. So Jesus promised the Holy Spirit will be in you. Everybody say the Holy Spirit is in me.
The Holy Spirit is in me.
So it is not from without, He is in you. In other words, you